I mean, I hate to say it. I get that we get passionate with our views, but if you're not even willing to listen or accept that there's something other than what you think is right out there, isn't that like the definition of just stupidity or ignorance or just being a fucking dumbass?
It could be a little bit of both. Okay, but the big thing about it is that we have devolved really in a society by taking one of the most important technological advances that we could make, which would be the internet, which puts information at the fingertips of global people all over the globe.
And it's made us dumber, I think.
And it's made us dumber because there are so many individuals and organizations out there that put fake information out there that people are so they're suffering so bad in their current environment that they're going to believe anything. Okay, for example, the coal miners in the Southwest, in Kentucky and Virginia and whatnot, they believed that they were going to get new jobs, that Trump was going to give them jobs because he said that he was going to revive the coal industry. Yeah, that's going to happen because obviously it's not. Because you can't revive the coal industry in the way that they talk about because it's moved past coal now to natural gas. Because natural gas is actually apparently a lot easier, even though it is still hazardous to farm out. But it's not as problematic as coal. So you have a bunch of coal miners that are expecting to have jobs that don't. And those are the same people that expected to have health care that are probably going to lose that health care thanks to the president's and the House and the Senate at the federal government, who's going to evaporate the ACA with no replacement. So you have people that are fixing to lose pretty much their lives and any ability to have a life because they were coerced by fear-mongering, to believe that the Hispanics are coming from Mexico and taking your jobs and that Al-Qaeda and the Muslims are here to kill you, and the only person that can fix that is Donald Trump.
And when exactly did Obama come for your guns? Did that happen?
Well, that's a whole different...
Did I sleep through that?
Yeah, we missed that one. But just in general, people don't have... from the chat room, people lack critical thinking skills, which I agree. We've moved away from the idea of critical thinking to blogging and believing absolute
comments.
Comments like
you're lame.
For anyone that watches Larry Crown, you'll catch that one. But we've also lost our humanity because the internet has been able to give us separation between interpersonal communication. Okay, people communicate more online now than they do face to face, which opens up the door to the lack of empathy for the person you're talking with. So, for example, if I'm having a conversation with somebody online and we're disagreeing about something but having a legitimate disagreement and logical discourse on how we disagree and how we can agree, and then you have a bunch of people that jump into the conversation that obviously don't care about anything except for what they believe, and they will do everything they can to sabotage the conversation, trash talk the people making the conversation, and call names and this, that, and the other. Now, that's not something that you would see if we were all sitting around a table at a restaurant talking. It's only when you get online that kind of crap happens. Now, it may happen in personal communication. I mean, we make fun of people at work, but it's in jest, and they make fun of us. But we don't have a lot of political conversations at work because there are some people that as soon as you bring up current political ideology in America, it turns into a nightmare because of the fact that they believe the way they do and they don't care if you have facts. They don't care about what your opinion is because that goes against what they do.
Or they think that their facts are more credible than your facts, and,
right.
And all of a sudden...
Because quoting the Onion is always a really good, strong fact. So we have to work on, I think, as people, we have to work on breaking down those walls that we have between us, i.e. the internet, and actually start interacting on a personal level, face-to-face, so that people can actually see that just because a person is a liberal or just because a person is a conservative doesn't mean that they're the enemy. It just means they think differently. It's not like that anymore. I mean, do you see that kind of stuff, Doug? You're being very quiet over there. Or we're talking over you, one of the two. I guess.
I'm being very entertained by this. And, thinking about all this shit, there's other opinions than mine?
There might be one or two. I can't.
Wow.
I can't quantify that.
New concept.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, and you see it a lot too. I mean, you see it. Even, I mean, you can't even actually get news anymore. You get, I remember way back when, Walter Cronkite would give the news. He wouldn't be making opinion about how we should take the news. He would just report the news. And I think that's something, the lost art of reporting fact has become just a nightmare. Because, for example, like PolitiFact and some of those fact-checking organizations, I mean, they're nonpartisan, and they specifically are there to actually fact-check people that say stupid shit. Or people that say smart shit, okay? They fact-check it. But if the facts don't match what a person believes, then it's fake news. Or it's a liberal conspiracy or a conservative conspiracy, etc. Okay? So where... How do we go back to actually having real discourse where we actually have, real facts and real discussion about the facts as opposed to a couple of facts with a shitload of opinion? And that's what I think where we're really, really starting to get lost as a country. Now, I'm thinking that there's probably some people out there listening, hopefully. If you would like to call in and have a little bit of a conversation, the number is 480-405-1465. Please feel free to call in. Let us know what's on your mind. All we ask is that you be respectful. If you're not, we hang up on you and make fun of you afterwards. So, lessons will be learned.
And yet we have me here.
Well, yeah, but you're a special guest.
Well, no, okay, maybe you can shed some light on this, Doug. Scott and I have a nephew. I think he's 26 years old, wounded warriors from the Marines, and he had to go back to the VA.
He's 26?
I think so. But anyway, he's got some issues. He's got some neurological issues. He's just got some stuff that happened to him during whatever the fuck he went through. And I was looking at the posts on his wall, and his friend, the pharmacist, who's a real wisecracker, actually had some really good things to say. And the one thing that really kind of pissed me off is this one girl that clearly knows shit about shit said, oh, the VA's not that bad. So everyone's like, well, first of all, you're a civilian. What do you know? And then the pharmacist kid actually posted, does your school teach you anything? And it was the whole U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs that they're trying to actually teach in schools. And her thing is, I don't think I want to learn about that in school. And the retort was, they should orient you with the realities of the world you live in. This would not be the last time that you ever find yourself in layman's conversation with someone who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And, I was thinking it's just like a conversation, but you can really tell just by a comment section, just the people that get it. And then the people that just clearly don't, like, oh, the VA is not that bad.
Yeah.
What the
How
fuck
many
are you
times have
basing
you
that?
had to wait for hours to get an appointment?
What are you basing that on? Best we can tell, you have no military experience. So it's not just that people are stupid. It's that they take their opinion and they turn it into a fact.
That goes back to lack of critical thinking, really. Because if you don't think about what you're about to say, I mean, I know I like to, wait and surprise myself and everybody else by what I say. But people in general, I mean, and this is probably a whole new conversation about critical thinking and the lack thereof.
And this was a rant, but it pissed me off when I read these comments.
Well, I mean, it should, because we have a lot of people out there, a shit ton of people out there that just don't pay attention.
Oh, and do you know what her comment was after he put all the fact stuff in there? Shut up, Ellen. Like, really? Are you fucking 9?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait, what the hell?
Yeah, that's the way things are. Whenever you get into a conversation when somebody actually brings real statistics, and explains those statistics in a logical fashion, anybody that disagrees automatically is like, oh, well, it's fake news, or it's, I'm sorry, I can't trust that news source. It's either too liberal and or too conservative.
And the pharmacy friend actually served with nephew and some other people. So, I mean, they were in the same situation together. So it's not like he was just like, oh, I can imagine what he was feeling. No, he was fucking there.
He was there. So I think that we as a people, we just don't understand anymore. Number one, how to separate fact from fiction, and number two, how to think more about reality as opposed to fantasy. I mean, fantasy's cool at times, but
it used to have its own island. I don't know
it
whatever
did
happened
have an
to
island
it.
with a little short guy, a guy in a white suit.
Can we say short guy anymore?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not PC.
The island of Dr.
PC.
Moreau?
No, he was short. He was short.
He was, man. I'd feel like a freaking giant compared to him. And I'm like, what, 5'2"?
Yeah. But I mean, that kind of leads to the root of the problem that we have in the United States right now, is that people just don't think anymore. They just don't think. It's I guess it's more of along the ideas of not necessarily sticking your head in the sand, but people don't normally start paying attention until something affects them directly, either themselves or somebody in their family or somebody close to them. For example,
Oh, wow, that sounds like me.
what was that? Was it Cheney, Dick Cheney, vice president? Was all against, gay marriage until his daughter came out.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, well, okay. Funny how that works. Nancy Reagan was totally against stem cell research until Ronald started getting Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, my God, this might be able to help him. Maybe I should be for it. It's really reactionary and difficult for people to wait until it affects themselves before they actually take action, because by then it's too late. Which is one of the reasons why there's a lot of activists out there really working hard to try to make a difference now before it becomes too late. Yeah, that's working out real well for us.
Oh, yeah, let's get rid of the EPA. Well, then we won't be able to breathe or vote. So, I mean, it's kind of a moot point, isn't it?
Well, until we can get politics to be pulled away from corporations.
If you think about it, we're kind of at that point right now.
Oh, yeah, we're there. Yeah, we are right there.
Corporations control all our main media, too. So people are like, well, I saw this on Rachel Maddow or I saw it on CNN. It's the same fucking 6 companies running the show. Get real.
It's really hard to find any non-biased news sources anymore. I mean,
Jon Stewart.
It's funny that you get the best news from the comedians.
Stephen Colbert.
Jon Stewart, The Daily Show, etc. You get real news from them, and everybody else is just giving bullshit side stories.
And Bill Maher.
So the things that are really, really causing most of the problems in our country right now, is that, number one, we base our opinions on fear. Okay. We always look for, what was that line? There was a movie called The American President, and it talked about how people, I can't remember the exact
is it
lines.
the one where, what's-her-face, with the red-haired chick was actually saying, oh, yeah, everybody cares about the environment during a phone survey, but when it comes time to vote.
Well,
is that what you're talking about?
there was another line where it talked about people where they would I can't remember.
Such a good
Okay,
movie.
gonna have to go and
Look
watch.
it up.
For those of you listening, American President. It's Michael Douglas and
I can't think of the redhead's name, though, lady.
it's Ann something.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is in it.
Annette Bening.
Annette Bening.
Annette Bening.
Is the redhead.
Which is kind of like Anne.
Martin Sheen.
It's a great fucking movie.
What's the guy from Jaws?
Roy Schreider.
No, the other guy. The other one, the shark expert.
I don't fucking know.
The one that looks like Mike Preston.
Richard Dreyfuss.
There you go. Thank you, Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah, it's a really good movie. It has a lot of. I mean, if you pay attention to it, it has a real good indication of how politics actually work. that you don't normally see.
So
in
does
public.
House of Cards.
Yeah. Well, but that's fake.
Stop.
That's fake news. But so that's one of the big problems is we have become a society that lives on fear.